I'm smiling right now, Clint, but this is the face that I actually want to have. This is my
Don't worry.
what the hell face after 2 games against the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh. Seriously.
But this is a good series for drinking too. I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm drinking on this Wednesday. I don't know if you poured up anything, Riz, but we should be drinking tonight.
Oh no, I was. I'm a bottle deep. Welcome to Dodgers territory, everybody. This is the first time Clint Pasillas and myself, Alanna Rizzo, are having a Dodgers territory postgame show. We do that because the Dodgers obviously are on the East Coast playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. I did not think that the Dodgers were going to be 0 for 2 in the first 2 games of the series. Obviously, you respect the pitching, but where the frick did our offense go?
Offense has been a little rough as we get into the big ticket here, and I think we should have a front end to it for fun. And we're talking before the show, should this be big ticket or should this be blue balls? Because this has been a tough little 2-game stretch for the boys. The Bats did they get left in LA, but the Bats were never really there in LA. Offense is struggling. We're drinking. We're sad. Paul Skenes had a hell of a game. I don't even know where to quite, begin digging in on. I don't know. It was a lot of game. It was almost, kudos to the Dodgers. They put up a fight. They did score 6 runs. I appreciate that a little bit. The bullpen almost had a hell of a performance in relief of James Paxton until
Nope. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving them a pass. I'm not giving them a pass. Paul Skenes, yes, I understand I understand he's going to be very likely number 1 draft pick. I mean, the guy got drafted and 300 days later he's making his first start in the big leagues. I get it. He's a superstar. But again, the man has not had 10 days of big league service time, and this is the Los Angeles freaking Dodgers, and you don't know, not to mention what Jones did yesterday. That's fine. Yeah. Again, we had our pregame production meeting, right? We're talking about, all right, Paul Skenes going up against Shohei Ohtani, PNC Park, because this is the last park he's played in. Paul Skenes, is it a splinker? We're going to talk about the verbiage in a second, but he's not great against that, but he's been a little bit better lately. The Dodgers look like crap offensively. And again, you're going to have these moments in time, but against the Pittsburgh Pirates, no disrespect to the Pirates organization, no disrespect to their pitching, but it's the Pirates. They're not going to the postseason. They're not going anywhere this year. You're the mother frickin' Dodgers, and you can't figure it out. That bothers me. What if this happens in the postseason? Like, I don't. Yeah, look at this. The Dodgers, yeah. The Pirates are winning 7-0. I like blinked. I sat down. I grabbed a glass of wine, and I'm like, "What the frick? It's already 3-0. What happened?"
You know what? The Dodgers got into Pittsburgh at the worst possible time facing velocity. They have been really, really bad this season against 97 plus. Both Jones and Skenes have 97 plus easily in the pocket there. And we saw plenty of it.
Both rookies. Both rookies.
And
what
both
are
rookies
we doing?
My neck of the woods, by the way. They're almost Whittier, almost La Mirada, almost La Habra area, and all that kind of stuff. So good to see local boys in my hood, in my barrio, doing well. But I would prefer they not do it against the Dodgers. But the Dodgers kind of did it to themselves again. Velocity struggling, bottom of the lineup still a problem, like we talked about on Monday. This team needs a little bit of help. We probably need to see less Christopher Armand Taylor in the starting lineup if we want to be angry, if we want to start ratcheting some things up. Mookie probably needs a day off, even though they just had 2 days off, and he's struggling. And this lineup lives and dies with Marcus Lynn Betts, and I'm not seeing a lot of fight out of Mookie right now. Maybe I'm just being angry for the sake of being angry, because I have seen the postseason struggles feel eerily similar to this. And yes, they scored 6 runs, but it took a while to get there, and they were already out of the game by the second inning. But I want to see some fight out of Mookie. Am I out of line here?
No, you're not. I think you look at his body language, and I think he's probably taking that into his offensive, his at-bats, everything that's going on in the field. I don't think you're wrong in saying that. Like, the body language speaks for itself. But I don't like the fact that these 2 guys, again, Jones yesterday, Skenes today, they're rookies. This is supposed to be the Los Angeles Dodgers. We talk so much about the matchup between Shohei Ohtani, which, by the way, Paul Skenes, grew up watching Ohtani. I feel like Ohtani's 12, but Paul Skenes grew up watching Ohtani, and then he got to face him for the first time ever. And I was thinking, okay, what did we really learn here about Paul Skenes, right? We know he's the number 1 overall pick. We know his girlfriend's a smoke show. We know that he has a sick mustache. We know all of these things, right? But it's like the first 2 outings he had, he faced the Cubs. This is the first time against really a massive lineup, and he shoved. I mean, is he better than we're giving? Is he better than we're giving a first round pick credit for? I don't even know if that's possible. But he looked really good against a Dodgers lineup that I still feel is pretty decent.
I think when you put together the entire Paul Skenes picture, and the comment section is going off, so I do want to have us pull some comments from the fine Dodger territory faithful here. But with Skenes, when you point out again, this time a year ago, he was pitching in college. Has not very much professional experience under his belt. Put together a hell of a start. I would not call it. I don't quantify this as a shove. He did give up 3 runs. He couldn't. I mean, he held a lead. He had a hell of a lead when you have 7 runs scored in the 7th inning. But he did fine. I think he did fine considering all of it. It's 22. First time facing a lineup of grown-ups just coming out of college. He did fine. I'm not exceptionally impressed. He's not my number 1 starter in the postseason. If I'm the Pirates, right? Well, maybe if I'm the Pirates, he is. But if I'm the Dodgers and he's on the Dodgers, and he's not my number 1 starter, but Dodgers operate
he's
at a
7
payroll.
minutes in the big leagues, and he's been pretty damn good. What do you want from this guy?
Want more? Give me more. Against this crappy Dodgers lineup right now, come on, you gave up 3 runs over 6. It was through like 90 pitches in the first 5 innings. Oh, it wasn't even 6. He got through 97, 91 pitches, whatever it was, somewhere in that 90 pocket. I mean, in the modern era, that's great. In the olden times, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, that's kind of a dud for a starter. Did just fine. He did just fine.
Olden times, you mean 10 years ago when you were 5 years old? I don't know. And it's not so much about the Dodgers offense in this. Okay, what is Roy Estrada to say? Today, Paxton did not give her. Exactly. Roy is my man right now because that was a perfect segue. Not for nothing. The offense was crap, but James Paxton just blew up in the 2nd inning. I mean, you needed a little bit more from a veteran pitcher than what we got from Paxton tonight.
Little-ish unlucky, but I don't know. Is this kind of the fallout of him having a 3-inning start in his last game or whatever the hell it was? I don't like the idea of resting your pitchers in the middle of a season. You signed this guy. He is an old man. He's 35. I think he could ideally, hopefully withstand the rigors of an entire season, but did not look very good against a not great Pittsburgh Pirates lineup. Came into the game 1 game over 500. To give up 7 runs in that 2nd inning, completely get your team out of it that early. That's a tough look. And when you have Bobby Miller on the horizon, a return of Robert Miller on the horizon, you do have to worry a little bit. Or as Paxton, maybe you're wondering down the road about your job security, but he's been overall good. Do not like that start coming off of a loss like they had yesterday. You got to be a stopper.
This is what bothers me about this type of series. It just goes to show you in a 3-game series in the first round, anything can happen. If one team is hot, let's say it's the last team that makes the postseason because of a wild card berth, goes against a Dodgers team that wins 103 games a season. The Dodgers are flat. That team isn't. And here you go. You're supposed to crush the Pirates. No disrespect. And I had many conversations about good pitching will kill good hitting any day. Good pitching with no hitting is definitely going to kill you on that day. What if this happens in the postseason? That's why these types of teams on paper, you should absolutely annihilate. And this bothers me. This series bothers me.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this with the Reds a couple weeks ago. Don't get beat by bad teams. And we know the Dodgers. It's a trap series. I agree. I think the concept of trap series is way overused, but in the reality, this is an accurate time to use it. And we get it. The Dodgers are tired. You know, you've now played 62, 63 games. Maybe you're a little bored into the season. And I'll call out Mookie Betts again for maybe looking a little bored in the season. Maybe shortstop isn't fun and sexy anymore, but it's not just Mookie. It's not just Shohei struggling, but also, you know, putting up 2 knocks against Paul Skenes. It's a whole lineup thing. I'm not going to throw Dave Roberts under the bus as much as the chat might want to throw Dave Roberts under the bus. But going back to what you said, you're talking about the postseason. William Andrews in the chat said this a little bit ago. Doesn't matter who we face in the postseason. If we play like this, you're not going to get past the first round. Doesn't matter what team it is either.
Yeah, William Andrews. What else is the chat saying? You're on YouTube. You're watching. By the way, like us, subscribe us, rate us, do all those things. We appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, this is our first post-game show because the Dodgers are on the East Coast, so we had an opportunity to do it. I mean, what else are the fans saying? I mean, that's why we play this game. That's why we're talking. Orlando, you have to score runs to win. Thank you, Orlando. Usually more runs than the other team. That's the basis of the game. God bless him. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's annoying. Craig, I love Craig. Craig is always a part of our show. Dodgers, Craig's no emotion. Awesome. I mean, and Craig brings up a good point, Clint, but you also said something. Maybe they're bored. I remember back in the day when the Atlanta Braves won the frickin' AL East every single year, and Bobby Cox basically gave the Braves the first 40 or 50 games. I don't give a crap what you do because I know that you guys don't care. But after that, we need to get it going. Is that where the Dodgers are falling into? They think we know we're going to win the National League West. We have dominated for years to come. We're going to kind of get there as long as at the All-Star break, we're still in first. And then we kind of really push the pedal to the metal in the second half of the season. Are you seeing a little bit of that? Is what Craig is saying and what you're saying about a boredom, is that a real thing? I don't know.
It tastes like it to me a little bit. It also tastes a little bit like rum and Monster, which is an odd combination that I decided to go with, but I need a 640 pick me up. I get it. I get they had so much hype. The dopamine, the adrenaline is all the way up when you enter the season. You're the talk of the town when you talk about they signed Ohtani, they signed Yamamoto, they signed Teoscar Hernandez. They're going to go play in Korea, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of that. Then you get into the throes of the regular season, and we know this team doesn't care about the regular season. Yeah, they're going to go out there. They're professionals. They're going to do their job. But the whole point of all this bullshit is to get to October and try to right the wrongs of the last 2 years, maybe 3 years. I'll give them a little bit of a pass in 21 because everybody fell apart in 21. But we have not seen a team really compete and have some conviction and emotion since you were there in the dugout with them, Alanna. And I want to see them get there. I want to see them take some of these games seriously, and I want to see them get there and get past this type of BS that we see happen a little too often, where the emotion seems to be a little bit absent, and they're going to let other teams kind of run over them.
Yeah, we want to hear your conversations. Follow us on LAD Territory on Twitter. By the way, maybe I should just go back. Maybe the reason that we're not winning against the Reds and the Pirates is because of me. I will take full responsibility. I will book the first flight to Los Angeles just because I miss it so much. BC, any team that starts Taylor deserves to lose. Don't even feel bad. All right. I don't know. Perfect. So Chris Taylor gets the start in back-to-back days. We have, again, I would defend CT3 till the day that I die, but at some point you got to figure it out. I don't know. Is that the right answer, starting him? Again, if he's not a veteran, you're not giving him this leash.
Hell no. He would be very far gone, not even at AAA. This would be somebody that is unemployed a la 2016 Max Muncy. This is not a person. It's not a player, I should say. He's a great human being. I love Chris Taylor. I love his family, love his wife. He does great things, but this is not a person that is worthy at the moment of taking major league at bats. Now, I have 2 different paths to go when we're talking about not CT3, but CT 0.089 or 0.098 right now. Stuck the landing on the joke I was going for there.
Good job. It's all about timing and sticking the landing. You didn't do it. I love the tweet though. Blake Harris says Chris Taylor's hitting below 100, and you said that's encouraging. That's for those of you listening and not watching us right now. This is the whole point. Clint Pasillas said hitting below. What is hitting below 100? Because hitting below 200 is the Mendoza line.
That might be the hitting below 100? That's the Chris Taylor line, because he could hit under 100 and still have Dave Roberts backing him. And I get it. You back the character, you back the person, but at some point, Dave has talked about it time and time again. It needs to be performance-based. You need to earn a job. You need to earn your at-bats. And Chris Taylor is not earning these at-bats. Now, if they're taking this road trip, this tough 6-game stretch, and yes, I'll include Pittsburgh in the tough 6-game stretch because it was flying back east again. You got Pittsburgh, got 2 high velo kids, and then the powerhouse Yankees coming up. If you're throwing Chris Taylor out into the middle of the ocean to sink or swim, I'm fine with that. If this is the put up or shut up moment for Chris Taylor and he can't figure it out, sorry, you're going to be injured or we're going to eat $30-ish million on your contract. I'm okay with that. This being the pivot point in Chris Taylor's Dodgers tenure, perhaps. But if we're still seeing Chris Taylor in September hitting a $120 and, he's hitting the ball harder, we like what we're seeing, I like the compete, and then him getting starts in October, I'm going to have a freaking problem with it. I don't
think they can. I don't think Dave is going to even, I don't think Dave will go there. I don't think Dave will be allowed to go there. By the way, you bring up a good point too. It's like not for nothing. It's not as if the Dodgers get through this Pirate series. Let's say they salvage a game tomorrow. Obviously, they've already lost the series, but let's say they salvage a game tomorrow. By the way, they're not coming home and they're playing the freaking New York Yankees. Like this is, I mean, a lot of people have wanted to see the Yankees and the Dodgers in a World Series. This makes me quite nervous.
It's not lining up to be very pretty for your Los Angeles Dodgers, that's for sure. But all the words I just said, at the same time, you don't care a whole lot about these games in early June, early to mid-June.
I care about games against the Yankees. I mean, that's like, I don't give a shit about games against the Pirates. The Pirates aren't in the postseason, but against the Yankees, I care. There's 4 freaking teams, Clint, in the National League that are above, that are winning teams right now. You know how hard it is to make the postseason in the American League compared to the National League? There's 4 freaking teams in the NL that have a 500 or better record. There's 4 teams in the AL Central that have a record of 500 or better. The Yankees might crush the Dodgers right now. I agree, Diane. This is going to be a great test of where the Dodgers are. I agree. Diane Schroeder knows what the hell's up.
I said that on my Monday edition, my Modelo Monday edition of All Dodgers. I was like, this is going to be the kind of pivot point for the season. I said the same thing about CT just now, but this is where we kind of learn what this team is made of and how. I'm looking already ahead at the trade deadline. That's the fun part. That's when people are most excited when we're talking about trades, who could come here. This is where this front office is going to learn what they really, really need to do with this team to fix some of the problems. We know the bottom of the lineup is rough, but also the middle of the lineup without Max Muncy has been maybe sometimes it may be good, maybe sometimes it may be shit. And right now it's very much shit. And they're heading to New York. And I'm fine losing games in June to the Yankees. Let the national media have it. Let your buddy over there, Mad Dog Russo, have some fun with the Dodgers lose to the Yankees. I don't care about that right now. Care about October in the long run.
I don't know. I care. I care about June, whatever the frick it's going to be, 7th, 8th, and 9th at Yankee Stadium. I want to see. I mean, this is supposed to be 2 juggernauts going head to head, equally as decimated by injury. I've always thought that the Yankees pitching staff, at least coming into this season, was better. And by the way, they're about to freaking get Garrett Cole back. Yeah. This is scary to me. I mean, and I don't know that it's going to be that I want it to be. Obviously, I love this team. I want it to be the Dodgers, and I don't give a shit in the American League who matches up with them in the World Series. But I don't know that if the Dodgers meet the Yankees right now in the World Series, that's going to be a pretty series. You know, honestly, like right now, Efren says the problem is they are showing too much weakness against strong pitching. They got to figure out those fastballs. They got to figure out everything, Efren. They got to figure out fastballs. They got to figure out breaking balls. They got to figure out off-speed stuff. They got to figure it all out. I don't know. I think this is a measuring stick series. This is going to be a wake up call. Yeah, girl, Shirls. Yes, it is. It is going to be a wake up call. It makes me nervous. I don't know. I don't know that the Dodgers. I don't know. I don't like it.
It's not a very good time. This is all part of the long story of a baseball season. This is where, when the baseball haters talk about, it's 162 games, this is that chapter that kind of reels you in when at the end of the season, the end of the year, you're talking about your team hoisting a trophy and Tommy Lasorda dancing, over there in City Hall in Los Angeles. You point back to these points and you're like, you know what? Everybody wanted to throw the team away. They wanted to fire Dave Roberts. They want Guggenheim to sell, trade away Shohei Ohtani. But then you need all of this. You need all of the fire and brimstone and death and anger to make a season fun, to make what we do fun for us to do. And we picked a hell of a game for our first post-game show, I will say.
Oh my gosh, no kidding. We were thinking about that. I was thinking about it when we were watching. I was like, oh great, they're up 3-0. Pittsburgh's up already, and Skenes is having a great game, and here we are, our first post-game show. This is not a team that you're supposed to lose to. And give credit to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Give credit to Jones, give credit to Skenes. But I don't like it. I don't like that we're going to New York and we're going to have to face a very strong pitching staff and obviously a very deep lineup. And again, yes, there's ebbs and flows in a season, and I get it, but I do wonder how sometimes I wonder if adversity is good, and perhaps it is. I don't like the way that we're showing up right now, or lack of showing up.
How about this? Maybe these Dodgers need some AG1. Help us out, producer Jeremy.
Kratz here from FT. I wasn't feeling as focused as I wanted to be and heard some buzz about AG1. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've felt energized, locked in, and ready to hit the day.
Braun here. That's because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a better, smarter way to elevate your baseline health. Kratz, not only did I replace my multivitamin with AG1, but I love that every scoop also includes prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes for gut support. That's a big deal for me.
I recommend AG1 to Pham and friends because it's tested for 950 contaminants and NSF certified for sport.
Kratz, we're both traveling a lot too, and those travel packs are clutch. I drink AG1 daily to support gut health so that we can dominate the day. So if there's one product to recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1, and that's why we're excited to welcome them as a new partner to the FT network. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/Val. That's drinkag1.com/Val. Go check it out.
All right, Braun, Kratz, thank you very much. AG1, we always appreciate you being here. All right, let's talk about another fan question from Twitter. Our producer and director, Jeremy Meyer, talking about this. Max has this to say: if I can submit a topic or question in advance, given the team-wide offensive problems, e.g., that means, for example, just in case you were wondering, Clint, they all have the same problems, not just some of them, and how long it's been an issue. What is the argument against the need for a change in team approach and hitting leadership? Max, that's a great question. I think the thing about a baseball season, it's 162 games, and you cannot constantly chase results. You have to, I know it's cliche, but you truly have to chase the process and not the results.
And this team is by far one of the best teams in baseball over the last decade at process. We know that is what this team does well. We've heard teams talk about looking up to the Dodgers when it comes to matching their process from the very top all the way to the bottom. I want to ask you about this as we go to my 1 cam, but we'll go back to a 2 cam on this because I want to ask you. You're somebody who's been in that dugout plenty of years. Only, she's very, very young, people. Don't worry. I'm not saying plenty of years to age her.
I'm old. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. It's cool. I'm gonna put my baseballism hat like you, so I can,
Thank
you. Oh yeah. So I've been I'm old. I get it. But I've been in the dugout. I've been around a long time.
You've been around these dugouts. You've seen teams be good. You've seen teams be bad, and you've seen plenty of people call for the idea of change. What's your stance on change for the sake of change? Which maybe, I mean, this isn't change for the sake of change. Maybe they do need some change. I'm not talking about Rob Van Scoyoc and the hitting coaches. I'm not talking about anybody in leadership, but a different body just being in there. Maybe one of the guys at AAA before the trade deadline. Does that do anything to a team?
Now, here's my question. Okay, think about this logistically. You want to make a change and you want to change the pieces of the chess game, right? Who is better? Like when you want to make a change when it comes to coaching, or you want to make a change when it comes to personnel, or a third baseman or a first baseman or a right fielder, who is out there that is better? That's the thing. You know, fans always like, oh, let's get rid of this guy. We need a change. We need a different voice. We need a different bat. We need a different pitcher. But who's out there that's better than what the Dodgers have right now? I mean, is it more impactful to stay with what you have and work with that person that is proven, or is it like, let's just blow the whole thing up and figure it out? I mean, it's not that easy. Like, I think more than anybody, Steve Cohen of the Mets is realizing how it's not that easy to run a team. You can have more money than God, and the Mets are probably going to miss the postseason. You know what I mean?
I wish you would.
It's not that easy.
This is just for me. I wish you would slander the Angels as much as you do the Mets, just for my own.
You love smashing the Angels. You know why I don't smash the Angels? Because you know what? They're insignificant. To me, the Angels are insignificant. I'm sorry. I just they don't rank on my, like, I don't care. The Angels are insignificant. They don't pose a threat at all. So that's why I don't. Okay. Fair. Would Luis Robert solve the problems of the Los Angeles Dodgers right now, Clint?
Lou Bob, we call him.
Lou Bob. The White Sox are a shit show. Would Luis Robert solve any problems?
I don't know that any one person solves a problem. The Dodgers have a very, very clear problem at the bottom of the lineup, but more so they have a painfully clear problem in the outfield outside of Teoscar Hernandez. Anybody they're rolling out there, and Andy Pages is kind of coming back into his own. He's figuring it out a little bit. But for the greater part, we talked about this either Monday or last week, left field or center field, people that have been out there have been overwhelmingly bad at performing at the plate. So Luis Robert, who barely has a handful of plate appearances this year, as he missed a lot of time with a hip injury, but he is somebody who has some pop. He has some panache that comes with him. If he's somebody you could plug into center field, and he doesn't need to be the guy here. We already know they got four dudes who are the guy, with Mookie Betts, who's struggling, but Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and I'm going to throw Will Smith in there because most underrated player in baseball. But if you throw in a Lou Bob in there, you feel a little bit better. It masks the missing piece of Max Muncy right now. But I don't think we're at a point in the year quite yet where we're looking at big trades happening, unless the Dodgers are able to overwhelm the White Sox to get Luis Robert in Dodger blue. There's no reason for them to trade him yet. You can get more suitors at the deadline, because there'll be more teams, ostensibly in it or out of it at that point, that are looking to, well, probably in it, that are looking to add a center fielder. So
I feel like the White Sox are on a 13-game losing streak. And on Monday, when we had our show live Monday afternoon, I said I absolutely don't want Tommy Pham. I don't want that energy in the dugout, in the clubhouse. I don't want that vibe. But you know what? Would adding Tommy Pham, who we know can rake, and if he's on your team, you love him, and he's not on your team, you hate him, would you be okay with that as far as filling some sort of outfield hole?
So right here, there's that meme where there's like the person with the flames behind him or whatever. Yes, there are so many of us that are all in. We are all aboard the Tommy Pham train, and it's not just because he brings. He brings the attitude, which this team, I feel right at this moment, at this juncture of the season, kind of needs a little bit of attitude. It needs that change. But he also is bringing production. He's not somebody who is hitting .098 like a Chris Taylor, who's hitting around 280. You could plug him into left field. And I understand the trepidation with somebody like Tommy Pham. He has He has a lot of baggage. He absolutely does. But he's also one of those guys where you want him on your team. That's the perception that I've picked up from reading things about him, from talking to some people about him, most of those people not being Jock Peterson. He is somebody you want in your clubhouse, not playing for you, not playing against you. And again, the production is there, and that's what I care about right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of differing opinions on Tommy Pham. Noah Ortega saying that he would have yelled instead of for himself at the plate against the ump. Some folks are saying, no, he's toxic. I don't want to deal with it. Michael says Tommy Pham got that dog in him. Yes, he does, Michael. He does have that dog in him. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I have not felt, and I hate to say this, and I'm probably going to get crushed. I have not felt this uncomfortable about a Dodgers team at this moment on June 5th. I've not felt this uncomfortable about a Dodgers team since I started covering the Dodgers.
Well, that's tough because we've seen, I know in your era, your tenure covering the team, there were some questionable teams. There were some question marks on those teams. There was also some really, really good teams. 2017 team should not have been as good as they were. 2018 team should not have been as bad as they were to make the World Series. 2019 team was a travesty to Dodgers fans that team was bounced in the first round. We saw it all come together in 2020, but people say what you want about a 60-game season. I believe it to be a true World Series because everybody
had to play 60 games. And I think having to play a World Series in a freaking bubble, I was there. It wasn't easy. And not for nothing, 2017 was stolen from them. 2018, Boston was better. It was. Boston was a better team. But, thank God for Max Muncy. 7 hours and 52 minutes. I'll never forget that game. Bottom of the 18th freaking inning in the bowels of Dodger Stadium, trying to okay, are we going out or are we not going out? That whole World Series was terrible in 2018.
My former employer and I were hosting a watch party with fans at a bar, and they were literally trying to kick us all out of the bar because they hired a DJ and they wanted to make money and get Dodgers fans in
and there. Not for nothing. They probably needed to serve breakfast. That game went so freaking long. I mean, I don't know. I love this team. I bleed blue. I always will. But I just don't feel like I don't feel like they have that that they need. You know what I mean?
I'll say this, then I'll let you retort. I will let you, even though you run the show here, but I'll let you, and then you can get us out of here. But you saying you have some worry at this point in the season does give me some concern because, again, I've seen some bad versions of this team. I've seen some versions of this team that should be much, much better than they produced. I'm not as worried right now because I think some version of the team we saw 2 months ago in April, where we were talking about, is this the best team ever? Is this the best offense ever? I think this team is closer to that than this current iteration, this current abomination of a team that we're seeing on the field. However, at some point you need to cut your losses, pull the plug on some guys like Taylor, hey, I saw somebody in the comments saying Gavin Lux has got his 150 at bats. What are we going to do about this? Because he ain't it. Yeah, he's hitting the ball hard. You hit the ball hard and it's an out. It's still an out. They all count the same. They need a little help. They need a little bit of difference. And, hopefully getting beat up by the Yankees is a wake-up call for them, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern here.
Well, damn, I hope they don't get beat up by the Yankees. But you know what? Yes, it's easy for us to sit here and pontificate about what they should be doing and all the things that they should. I've never even hit a ball out of the infield, so it's easy for me to say. But anyway, like us, give us a 5-star rating if you like what we're doing. Like us, subscribe to Dodgers Territory. We appreciate it. This is our first post-game show. We hope to do more when the Dodgers are on the East Coast. Thanks for being with us. For Clint Pasillas, my great friend and host, I'm Alanna Rizzo. We will see you tomorrow, as Clint said, 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.